everybody, it's Sam at Mixed Up Craft. Thank you for watching my tutorial today. This is the start of my Halloween week. So for 5 days, Monday to Friday, each day I will share a Halloween themed project. So first of all, I've got these really nice, this really nice little gift box, which is in the shape of a pumpkin, or my interpretation of a pumpkin with the scoring that I've done. And I've just finished it off with a little label there on top and some fabric to create the kind of top of the pumpkin. So it opens up here, although if you're giving this to kids they'll probably just rip it open, which is fine. So I will show the alternative ways to also close this. I'll put a little pop-up along on the video because there's 2 other gift boxes I made a while ago and you might prefer those closures to the one I'm doing today depending on what you're going to use it for. So this is what we're going to make, and let's crack on. So you will need, just bring everything over here. So you'll need a hole punch. I've got my scissors ready there. You'll need some ribbon. This is roughly about 8 inches once it's folded over and the knot is formed. So this is just some old ribbon that I had from a gift box. You then need some kind of something oval, so a plate or a die would work, a metal framelit. These are from X Cuts. There was a pack of 6, 3 circles, 3 ovals, and you get a cutter with them that you can cut around. They're really useful actually. Again, if I can find the links of anywhere still selling them, because I know they're quite old, I'll share them on my blog along with everything else that I'm using today. I've already done my little tag there, so I've just pre-cut 2 little tags, stuck them on top of each other with a stamp and a couple of little leaves there as well, so, and a hole punch, so that's all ready to go. Then you need 2 pieces of card. One I've already prepped there. These measure 6.5 by 8.25. Okay, so first of all you want to score, so I'll just start along the 8.25 inch side here. So you want to score at 1 inch and 5.25 inches. Then rotate the card onto the 6.5 inch side, and you want to score at 1/2 inch all the way down, then at 1.5 inches just to that first score line, then at 2.5 inches to the first score line, then at 3.5 all the way down, 4.5 to the first score line, and 5.5 to the first score line. Okay, and that is what you should have. So a load of squares along the top and then the rest. Okay, so you want to do that again on the other piece that you have. Get rid of your scoreboard but keep your stylus. Oh, sorry. And then grab that oval, whatever it is that you're using. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to connect the bottom of this middle square. So you have 3 squares above each rectangle. The middle square to the left and the right of it, we're going to connect to the left and to the right of the bigger rectangle. Okay, so I'll show you what you do. So just pop your stylus first of all in the bottom left of that middle square. Then pop your oval shape so it's resting against the stylus. Now the reason I say put your stylus down first is because it's got that ball on the end of it. Some of them might be bigger than others, and it just means that you're going to get an exact join from corner to corner. So don't put the oval down first and then your stylus, because your stylus will be out. So put that down first in the corner and then pop your oval piece so it's sitting against that but also joining up down here. Okay, and then with a bit of pressure you want to make sure that you're using either a mat like I am or a paper pack, something with a little bit of give in it so that you can apply the pressure. And just do it a few times until you get a really nice mark. Okay, if I just hold that up there you can see that's the shape you want. Now I find it easier because you're already at this angle to go across and do the same one on that second rectangle. So again, the middle square along the top, the bottom left of that square, put your stylus there, and again just line it all up and just score down there a few times. It's just with, you've got the oval kind of in the position, so it's just a bit easier than swapping it over from one side to the other. Okay, and then instead of moving the oval, if you just turn the card upside down and now hold it all in place, but again put your stylus, now you'll have these 2 big, you've got a square and then this rectangle. To the top left of the rectangle, your stylus in place, and then line this up to the middle square, to the bottom of that one there. Okay, So you just join it up, and basically the shape that you're creating is like a vase. Okay, you can see that vase shape. So you should have the thin top of the vase connecting to the bottom of the middle square. Okay, then I'll just go across and do that on the other one. Okay, and that is what you should have. So you want to repeat that on the second piece, okay? And now before we burnish it all, I always find with this particular style it's easier to burnish after you've cut all of the bits and pieces, because what you want to do is cut out the score line. So with this side, with all the squares, you want that facing you, and first of all what you're going to do is cut down that first score line, but you want to cut out the score line, so you're cutting more to the right hand side of that score line. So you can see that I'm just cutting slightly to the right, that score line, just down to that first score line there. Okay, and then you just want to cut that square again, cutting now to the left hand side of the score line. So what you've got is just a completely flush piece there. You've got no score lines or, you know, lumpy bits. Okay, and then go along to that next score line, and again you're cutting to the left hand side of it, so you're cutting it completely out. Then you want to miss that middle score line, so this one here that kind of goes down through the middle, divides those two big rectangles, and go across to the next square that's at the top of that like vase shape, and again this time cutting towards the right hand side, and then again cutting towards the left hand side. Okay, now with this piece here that you'll have, just fold it down, and then you just want to pop your scissors underneath and just cut that straight out, so a nice neat line across the top. Okay, and then again cutting the score line out, you just want to cut along that other side to remove that. So all you will have now is two really nice squares with no score lines visible. Okay, if you then just cut a little notch on that one there, and then down here, just again, we're going to cut this out, again removing all the score lines. And then this middle one here, again, I'm going to cut slightly to the left and then to the right. So I'm just taking out the tiny, tiny piece that was scored from that score line. So you can see there how much I cut out, because you can see a little bit of the green. Okay, now what you want to do is burnish all of those score lines. Obviously just take care with the little ones that you've done, those little squares. Okay, and then what you want to do is fold it in half, and with your hole punch, if you want to just lightly draw a cross in the square and then hole punch in the middle of the cross, I'm just going to eyeball this one like so. Okay, and then what you also want to do is with a ruler and a pencil, you're just going to mark, and you make sure you do it really light because you do want to rub this out. You're just going to mark 1 inch down from the top on the edge there, the middle there, and the end here, and just repeat that all what I've just done on that second piece. And again, I've already marked this 1 inch down. So we're going to cut all this away once we put it together, just so that it closes nicely. Okay, so now we can start joining it together. So I'm going to use my red tape, and you just want to apply your tape to both of these tabs. Okay, so I've applied the glue there, and also I just forgot to mention, you need to just pinch and just define these score lines where that kind of vase shape is. So just go along and just carefully going to get those all into place. Like so. Okay, right, so let's stick these together. So you just want to lie that one down on top of the other one, just so that the score lines and everything all meet up. Okay, and then turn it over, fold this side in with the other sticky tab, And then again, just fold this one down and laying it all, make sure it all lines up nicely. Like so. Okay, now before we stick the base down, where we done those pencil marks earlier, so just fold it flat, doesn't matter what side, because you would have done pencil marks on all of them. And what you want to do is just cut where that pencil mark is. You want to cut up to the corner of the square. So I'll just show you here, like so. So just cut up from that pencil mark up to the corner of the square. Then fold it again, so you get the next piece, and again just cut up. And the reason I do this is because there's too much card otherwise folding up into such a small area. So that's why you need to do this little bit here. It just takes away loads of the bulk. And then again, just fold it to the next piece from that pencil mark and cut it up. If there's any pencil left, then this is when you also want to rub it out so that you haven't got it exposed on your project. Like so. Okay, so that is the kind of shape now that you should have. Now you can stick down the base. So there's no real order for this, but what I tend to do is stick one down, then stick two sides, and then stick the other. Okay, you could just fold it all and just put glue on the bottom one there if you don't want to kind of waste too much of your glue. And all you want to do is just focus really on the edges, like so, and just a little bit in the middle. Bring them all down first, and then you can turn it upside down and pop a ruler inside just to kind of fix all that glue into place. I'm using such a thin amount because if you're going to make a few of these, you know, they only need to hold for a while really before they get destroyed once the children or the adults get the sweets. Okay, and then turn that one over. And like I said, just grab a ruler and you can just spread that all out. And just by taking all those little bits off and those score lines that we did underneath, you just don't get any overhang on the base. Okay. So now just grab the ribbon and your little tag, and you want to push all the corners, you want to push in. Okay, so it should follow all of those lovely curved score lines that you've done, and basically it's all going to sit on top of each other like so to form your box. Okay, so to hold this all in place, so there should be a little pop-up now which will show you alternative ways to close it. And then what I will do is, first of all, this is quite a thick ribbon, so do be careful not to rip your card. You just want to feed it up through until it gets to that knot, and then you want to go to the opposite side. And again, those two now sit lovely on top of each other, and then grab one of the other sides. Okay, and then that last one will sit on top, and that will bring it all together to form your pumpkin shape. And there you have it. It's really, really cool, and this would look great in other colours as well, in a more abstract way, for a nice dinner party or just another unusual gift box. So you can obviously change this up for anything you want, and then just pop your tag on, and there you have it. A really cute little trick-or-treat or Halloween gift box. So there's my two ready. They're going to sit on my table for me and my husband. Hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial. Please subscribe so you get to see the rest of the Halloween week. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.